Hello, movie lovers around the world. How are you all doing? In today's video, we will discuss a newly released film in theaters titled Mickey 17, directed by Bong Joon-ho. This film tells the story of a young man who can be reprinted and come back to life every time he dies. Curious? Let's dive right into the plot. The story begins with Mickey, who is trapped in a snowy ravine and severely injured. His friend, a pilot named Timo, arrives, but instead of saving him, he only takes Mickey's weapon, claiming he can't help due to insufficient rope. Timo then leaves Mickey to freeze to death. After Timo departs, a creature known as a creeper, the native species of the planet, appears ready to devour Mickey completely. Soon after, a new Mickey is printed. His data and memories are stored in a special device, allowing him to be recreated each time he dies. Mickey was assigned to carry out difficult missions. One of them was to examine the air outside the spaceship they were on, air that was said to contain a deadly virus. Mickey was deliberately sent to be exposed to the virus for research purposes. If he died, his body would be reprinted. Mickey's role was simple: to be a sacrifice and a test subject, ensuring that the humans inside the spaceship could remain safe until they reached their destination, free from the virus or other dangerous threats. The story flashes back to Earth a few years earlier, where Mickey and Timo are being chased and captured by loan sharks. They had borrowed money to open a macaron shop, but failed to repay it. Mickey, traumatized by the brutal punishment inflicted by the loan sharks, decides to join an expedition to a distant planet called Niflheim, led by a failed politician named Kenneth Marshall. Without fully reading the contract, Mickey unknowingly signs up as an expendable. Only afterward was it explained to him. Being an expendable means taking on extremely dangerous work. There, an organic recycling pit is used as fuel for the human printing machine. This means that if Mickey dies, his body will be reprinted. After the process of body scanning and memory copying, Mickey will live again, with all his past memories intact. Unfortunately, during that process, Mickey ends up recalling traumatic memories from his childhood. He had once accidentally caused an accident that killed his mother. As part of the requirements to officially become an expendable, Mickey was even asked to shoot himself. Mickey and the expedition participants finally departed for the planet Niflheim. At first, Mickey didn't know anyone there. One day, Kenneth Marshall and his wife, Aoife, arrived and were greeted with great enthusiasm by everyone, except Mickey. Instead, he exchanged glances with a woman named Nasha. In his speech, Marshall reminded the entire crew to conserve food during the journey and prohibited sexual activity as it could burn too many calories. However, at the same time, Mickey was having an intimate encounter with Nasha, the woman he had just met. Their relationship continued, and they became a couple, staying together for the 4-year journey to Niflheim. Throughout the journey, many people often asked Mickey, "What does it feel like to die?" That question annoyed him greatly. Aside from Nasha, Mickey also became friends with Kai, a woman who was also a lesbian. Upon arrival at Niflheim, Mickey is tasked with being the first to step onto the planet's icy surface. However, the air contains an unknown virus. The team experiments on multiple Mickeys before developing a vaccine. In total, 5 versions of Mickey had been sacrificed in the process, until they finally managed to find an effective vaccine. One day during an exploration, Mickey and his team enter a beautiful ice cave, but encounter the native creatures. tragic accident causes Jennifer, Kai's girlfriend, to die. Furious, Marshall scolds Mickey, stating he would have preferred Mickey to die instead. He then orders Mickey to capture a creeper as punishment. During his mission, Mickey fell through the ice, which turned out to be the opening scene of the movie. Unbeknownst to him, Mickey didn't actually die. Instead, he was dragged away by Mama Creeper. At first, Mickey thought he was going to be eaten by the creeper babies. However, it turned out that Mama Creeper actually intended to save him and bring him out of the hole. Mickey had thought that maybe his flesh didn't taste good, which was why they didn't eat him. After that, he walked alone in the freezing cold of the ice. Without anyone knowing, he secretly hitched a ride on the back of a snowmobile that was transporting rock samples from the planet. No one noticed Mickey's presence. After cleaning himself up, he walked back to his room. However, as he opened the door, he was shocked. They had already printed a new copy of him, Mickey 18. Unlike his predecessor, Mickey 18 is aggressive and ruthless. He attempts to eliminate Mickey 17, fearing that multiple versions of Mickey existing simultaneously is a grave violation. Meanwhile, Mickey 17 discovers that the human printer machine was originally designed by a psychopath who used homeless people as test subjects. However, it was later discovered that the murder was not committed alone. There were actually 3 psychopaths involved. The government strictly prohibits multiple copies of an individual, and Marshall exploits this rule to justify eliminating Mickey 17. Upon waking up, Mickey 17 was being taken to the recycling disposal. This Mickey 18 is completely the opposite of 17 because 18 is very fond of violence and very brave. Mickey 18 wants to put 17 into the disposal, and Mickey 17 is very afraid that if he dies, he won't be printed again and will die forever. Timo appeared. It turned out he was selling an illegal drug called Expendable, which made its users drunk. Seeing Timo's corruption, especially since he was the reason Mickey had once been chased by loan sharks, Mickey 18 immediately lost his temper. He beat Timo and planned to throw him into the recycling pit. However, just as Mickey 18 was about to drop Timo, Mickey 17 arrived and tried to stop him. Fortunately, Nasha and the commander arrived just in time, preventing Timo from being thrown into the recycle pit. The commander then confirmed that someone on the ship was selling illegal drugs. Meanwhile, Mickey 17 felt very upset seeing Mickey 18 leave with Nasha. Mickey 18 even intended to be intimate with Nasha, while Mickey 17 could only cry silently. Not long after, Mickey 17 received a dinner invitation from Kenneth Marshall. Upon hearing that the main course was meat, he immediately decided to attend. During the dinner, Marshall apologized for his harsh behavior toward Mickey after Jennifer's death. Kai was also invited to the event and expressed her condolences for Jennifer's passing. However, the atmosphere shifted when Marshall revealed the real reason for inviting Kai. He believed Kai was the perfect candidate to become the mother of the human colony he was developing. Kai was furious, feeling reduced to nothing more than a reproductive tool, a mere womb. Before the meal began, Kai led a prayer to honor Jennifer's memory. But as she couldn't continue, Marshall took over and ended the prayer by leading the guests in singing the song, Hallelujah. Suddenly, Mickey fell seriously ill after eating the meat served at dinner. It turned out that the meat was part of an experiment, and yes, in the end, Mickey had been invited not to dine, but to be sacrificed once again. Kai felt pity for Mickey. A professor present at the dinner then attempted to treat Mickey using an experimental painkiller they were testing. However, the drug didn't seem to work. And because Mickey's status was merely that of an expendable, Marshall quickly decided to eliminate him. Mickey, who was beginning to regain consciousness, insisted that he had already recovered and didn't need to be eliminated. Kai helped Mickey get up and insisted he rest in his room due to his still weak physical condition. While sipping the tea, Kai asked Mickey, "What does it feel like to die?" Mickey answered honestly that in truth he was very afraid of death. It was a terrible experience and he hated it. Kai felt even more sympathy for Mickey. In her heart, she believed that Mickey was more than just a printed human. He seemed like something more. Moved by her feelings, Kai tried to kiss Mickey. However, Mickey gently refused. choosing to remain loyal to Nasha. When Mickey entered Nasha's room, he was shocked to find out that Nasha already knew there were two Mickeys. Instead of being angry, Nasha laughed and seemed happy to have two Mickeys at once. It turned out that Nasha was under the influence of Expendable, the drug previously given to her by Mickey 18, which left her in a dazed state. In that condition, Nasha didn't mind the existence of two Mickeys, and the three of them ended up engaging in an intimate relationship together. Suddenly, Kai caught them in the act. Nasha quickly tried to stop Kai from reporting the multiple violation. Meanwhile, Mickey 17 began to panic, imagining the worst-case scenario if Kai spread this information to others. To mediate the situation, Kai proposed a compromise. What if they split Mickey 17 for Kai, and Mickey 18 for Nasha? However, Nasha immediately refused. To her, Mickey was entirely hers, and she didn't want to share. At the same time, Mickey 18 began to grow angry. He had just learned how Marshall had treated Mickey 17 during the dinner, and he was disappointed that Mickey 17 didn't have the courage to fight back. His anger continued to build until he realized that this wasn't entirely Mickey 17's fault. It was Marshall's fault. With firm resolve, Mickey 18 decided that it was time to eliminate Marshall that very night at the ongoing event. At that moment, Mickey 18 arrived at the scene, ready to attack Marshall. However, his plan was interrupted when chaos suddenly broke out. A small creeper emerged from within the rock, causing everyone to panic and run in fear. Meanwhile, a professor noticed something strange. Mickey appeared to be communicating with the creeper. The chaos escalated further. Marshall eventually discovered that there were two Mickeys, a serious violation regarding the existence of multiples. Shortly after, another creeper emerged from the hole, but this time it was destroyed completely. As a result of the incident, Mickey 17, Mickey 18, and Nasha were arrested and thrown into prison. Inside the prison, Mickey 17 recounted that when he fell and was found by the creature didn't eat him, which is why he was still alive. Nasha then realized that the creeper was actually a good creature because it had saved Mickey's life. At that moment, Timo secretly snuck into the detention area. He told Mickey that both of them were being hunted by loan sharks. Apparently, the loan sharks men were already on the ship. To survive, Timo admitted that he had been given a condition. He had to cut Mickey's body into 13 pieces and record the process. Desperately, Timo begged Mickey to help him. However, Mickey 18 responded coldly and said, "Go ahead, just cut me up. Look for yourself, Mickey 17 is a coward." Not long after, Mickey 18 and Nasha managed to escape from the cell and subdued Timo. Unfortunately, they were caught by the commander. The commander then revealed shocking news. Since the death of the baby creeper yesterday, a large number of adult creepers had now surrounded their ship. The researchers then arrived, bringing the body of the baby creeper. It turned out that one of the female researchers had successfully developed a device to translate the creeper's language. However, the situation grew even more tense when it was revealed that the baby creeper had already been processed into a sauce by Aoife. Marshall then arrived and immediately erased all of Mickey's memories. He planned to eliminate Mickey without mercy. However, Nasha tried to defend Mickey, saying that the creepers were actually good creatures. They had even saved Mickey's life. Unfortunately, Marshall responded coldly. He said, "Why should we fear insect-like aliens like them?" Nasha replied, "We are the aliens here." But Marshall didn't care. He hung the baby creeper and ordered Nasha to bite the hanging rope as a form of execution. The commander, who was witnessing the incident, secretly recorded it, as he considered Marshall's actions to be a serious violation. Meanwhile, a journalist proposed a cruel idea. They would record footage of the two Mickeys being fitted with bombs, with the trigger held directly by Marshall. Whichever Mickey managed to kill more creepers would be the one to survive. Mickey 17 could only whisper softly, "Maybe this is the punishment we deserve." Before leaving, the female scientist gave the prototype of the creeper language translator she had created. The two Mickeys had no intention of exterminating the creepers. Mickey 17 tried to warn Mama Creeper about Marshall's evil plan to kill the entire creeper colony using poisonous gas. He asked Mama Creeper to take the entire colony away for their safety. Mickey also expressed his gratitude for being saved earlier. Strangely, Mama Creeper knew Mickey's name, though it was unclear how. Not long after, Marshall decided to go himself and negotiate with Mama Creeper. Mickey warned him, "We will all be destroyed if you stay here." But Mama Creeper calmly replied, "That is none of your concern." She explained that she saved Mickey of her own will, then asked sharply, Why did you kill our baby? We saved you, but you killed our child. Mama Creeper then warned that if the baby creeper on the ship truly died, all of humanity would be wiped out. Her scream alone was powerful enough to destroy human eyes and brains. Mickey panicked. He immediately ran to warn Nasha to save the baby creeper and return it to Mama Creeper, the only way to prevent humanity from going extinct. Meanwhile, Marshall was advised to go outside and capture epic footage before exterminating all the creepers. On the other hand, Mickey assured Mama Creeper that Nasha would definitely bring the baby creeper back to the site. However, Mama Creeper demanded that one human sacrifice themselves as retribution for the humans killing one of their baby creepers. Marshall and his team moved forward, determined to capture dramatic footage for propaganda purposes. Meanwhile, Nasha managed to take Aoife hostage. She demanded to be freed so she could take the baby creeper out of the ship. At the same time, the commander, who had gathered evidence of Marshall and Aoife's atrocities, prepared to arrest them and report everything to the highest committee. Marshall approached Mama Creeper to speak with her, while on the other side, Nasha ran as fast as she could, carrying the baby creeper. Seeing Marshall's arrival, the entire creeper colony immediately formed a protective formation around Mama Creeper, simultaneously creating natural camouflage to hide her. Confused by the formation, Marshall ultimately decided to shoot Mama Creeper. Meanwhile, Mickey 18 snuck into Marshall's train with the intent of seeking revenge. At the same time, Nasha successfully arrived at Mama Creeper's location and returned the baby creeper. And fortunately, Mama Creeper had survived the earlier shot. On the other side, Mickey 18 finally confronted Marshall. In his final act, he exacted his revenge in an extreme way, by blowing himself up along with Marshall. 6 months later, as spring arrived, the community celebrated the end of the Expendables program. Nasha had now become a member of the review committee, and they all expressed their gratitude for Mickey's great sacrifice. The committee unanimously agreed to destroy the human printing machine. Mickey himself was given the task of blowing up the printer. Meanwhile, all of Marshall's followers had been imprisoned. Elsewhere, Timo finally faced the loan shark's henchmen. Fortunately, Timo managed to win the fight and was eventually freed by the council. Mickey then asked Mama Creeper about the creeper's scream, which was rumored to be capable of wiping out humans. Mama Creeper replied that it was merely a bluff. The scream wouldn't actually destroy human eyes or brains. While taking out the trash, Mickey heard something from above. When he looked up, he saw that the human printing machine was still there. There, Aoife was seen trying to bring her husband Marshall back to life. Mickey was shocked and terrified, but it turned out it was all just a dream. They finally succeeded in completely destroying the printing machine. And with that, the movie Mickey 17 came to an end. That's the storyline of the movie Mickey 17. If you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to write them in the comments section. For those of you watching this video on our channel for the first time, don't forget to click like and subscribe so you won't miss other exciting movie storylines. Bye! Adios!